So let's look at a sample problem. So if we have silicon dioxide, also known as quartz, it's usually quite unreactive, but it will react readily with hydrogen fluoride according to the following equation. The equation there. Now, the problem that you'll see here is if 6.0 moles of hydrogen fluoride is added to 4.5 moles of silicon dioxide, which is the limiting reactant. That's the kind of problem you're going to see very, very commonly in this particular section. So let's look at how we're going to set this up. We have our balanced chemical equation. We identify what's been given, right? That's a mole. It's a mole value. The amount, we've also been given 4.5 moles of silicon dioxide. And what we're trying to find out is which one is limiting. Now you might think, okay, there's less silicon dioxide, and there's 4.5 moles, whereas there's 6 moles of hydrogen fluoride. That's true. You're starting with more hydrogen fluoride. However, you might need vastly more hydrogen fluoride. Notice that the balanced chemical equation has a coefficient of 4 on hydrogen fluoride and only 1 on silicon dioxide. So we're going to have to do some stoichiometric calculations here. So how we're going to set this problem up. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start with one of those particular reactants. It doesn't matter which one. You can start with hydrogen fluoride first. And I'm going to do a second calculation, but this time I'm going to start with silicon dioxide. And in both situations, I'm going to convert all the way into moles of the product. All right, this is normal stoichiometry, normal stoichiometric calculations, just like we did last section, but you're going to do 2 of them for each of these types of problems. So let's plug in those numbers to see what we actually came up with. And I'd like to point out that if you start with 4.5 moles of silicon dioxide, you can get 4.5 moles of silicon tetrafluoride. But if you start with 6 moles of hydrogen fluoride, you only end up with 1.5 moles of the product. Right? So you actually can end with less product with 6 moles of hydrogen fluoride. So that's going to mean that hydrogen fluoride is the limiting reactant. So here I'm simply looking at which of those reactants ends up giving you the least amount of product. That's the limiting reactant.